Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, February 18th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Just to clarify something for everybody, the reason that we aren't exactly at 3 p.m. and doing meditation is because several people can't get to the meditation until, 5, 10, 15 minutes afterwards. So I accommodate those people so that they can get here and not have to come in the middle of the meditation or after it's started. So that's why we're not at exact specific on the hour. And I did that a long time ago because a lot of people couldn't make it, and then it's disruptive for them to come in and try to get into the mode of meditating when they come in 10, 15 minutes later. So this is why we do it a quarter after, usually. If I have situations, emergencies, and I can't make it sometimes, like on the TFCCs, that's the reason why. Because as you all know, I'm doing many things because I choose to do them, and sometimes the time element runs over. So I apologize for any issues that may cause because, the exactness of the time is the illusion, and I don't get caught up in the time. And some people don't understand that. So. But just wanted to clarify that for everybody. All our bodies are super powerful, magical manifesting machines that are always attracting whatever our minds are devoted to seeing, feeling, and believing is true. This means that every desire that we have in this life has the power to naturally be fulfilled by us. And yes, we are amazing multidimensional manifestors. And we have, and you have, the natural born ability to magnetize anything to you, anything, good, bad, or indifferent. And we talk about this a lot because this is a key element on why so much confusion ensues with the civilization of this planet. Just for a few minutes today, experiment with letting yourself become absorbed in the feeling that your biggest dream, your most wild fantasy, your most exotic wish has just manifested right in front of your eyes. And you can say, wow, yes, I did it. I am so amazing. And the best of all is that you didn't have to lift a finger. I think we all, in some ways, some of us at least, are already practicing this magical manifesting technique every day. Yet perhaps you might not always fully be aware that you're doing it. So it's kind of like subconsciously at times. It simply comes down to noticing if your mind is focusing on what you want or what you don't want. Manifesting can be very simple and not complicated. But this civilization has a tendency, has been trained to complicate all the simple things so that then they appear to be complicated. I just love how each day is becoming so much easier and lighter. It feels so good to visualize. So to speak, owning our own dirt. To see your dreams clearly is to be liberated from it. And keys. When we are creating a magical mindset, it can be a quantum leap just to acknowledge the dust that we have and take responsibility for it. Everyone has a dusty, dark side, no matter how bright they appear. The more you own it, the more you illuminate it. You must choose to first acknowledge which dust particles are stuck to your mirror. Notice what thoughts and beliefs you tend to cling to. What thought brings more tension to your body instead of a release? Which thoughts make you feel as if you are carrying a 50-pound pack on your back? Most of your thoughts are just dead ideas resurfacing again and again and again for no reason at all, like a broken record that forgot it has an off switch. Your mind builds piles of dust out of old unconscious habits, causing you to feel everything but alive and inspired with joy. When you truly own your deepest dirt and dust, you see you are responsible for creating it. And sure, it was an unconscious habit created by past conditioning, yet you made the decision to think the way you did at this point. You start to think, feel, and experience life as the great, grand designer of your reality, resulting in the use of some new neurons. The definition of insanity is to think the same thing over and over, expecting different results each time. By owning your dust, you have the option to choose a different thought process next time. Perhaps you've been looking and cannot find any dust on your mirror, or maybe you do not even know what the heck we are talking about when we refer to a dusty mirror. If this is you, then take a look at the judgments you continue to make about yourself, others, and this world. This is the most evident dust. Where do you feel righteousness and wrongness about your life? What is it, that one thing you must most criticize about yourself? If this negative judgment about yourself feels like the truth, yet only makes you feel more stuck and powerless every time you think it, then what is the benefit of thinking it again? There are no real benefits to narrow-minded thinking other than to keep you feeling small and irresponsible for your infinite potentiality. It is the effects of the lazy saboteur running the show and your life. The world is a great mirror. It reflects back to us, to you, what you are. If you are loving, if you are friendly, if you are helpful, the world will prove loving and friendly and helpful to you. The world is what you are. Thomas Dreyer. There was a time, and there's always a time in our lives, where we would see how many hours a day we could lay out in the sun and avoid all responsibilities and possible work. And work was a four-letter word that meant wasted opportunity to relax my karma. Now, some of us did not see the empowerment that we would later feel from jumping on the playing field of life. Now, work has transformed into a different four-letter word called play. So what we do, and it's a choice, we determine that we just play all day long with people, taking inspired actions only and responding to people from your divine passion to empower and awaken the world. By owning your dust, you've created a new responsibility to working and beating your saboteur at his own game. To triumph over your dusty mindset is to nail it down and own it. When your body feels contracted and tight, notice what frame of mind you are in. Is it expansive and magical? Observe your body and explore what is there. It will tell you if it enjoys what your mind is focused on or not, all the time. When your body closes down, it is not because it is angry at you. The main purpose of a contracted state of being is to push you deeper inside, to get in touch with the divine presence at your core. Contracted states also have the latter purpose of pushing the pendulum of life to swing you back into those positive experiences so you truly appreciate life again. As long as we are asleep to this God we truly are, there will be some saboteur inside of us, pushing us into more creativity, expressive energy, and discovering and discovering. Now, maybe the triumph over dusty mindset is one of the biggest challenges that any of us have. And when we truly own our deepest dirt and dust, we see we are responsible for creating it. Now, it may have been an unconscious habit created by past conditioning, yet we made the decision to think the way we did. At this point, we start to think, feel, and experience life as the grand designer of our reality, resulting in the use of some new neurons. The definition of insanity is to think the same thing over and over, expecting different results each time. By owning your dust, you have the option to choose a different thought process next time. Perhaps you have been looking and cannot find any dust on your mirror, or maybe you do not even know what the heck we are talking about when we refer to a dusty mirror. If this is you, then take a look at the judgments that you continue to make about yourself, others in this world. This is the most evident dust. Where do you feel righteous and wrongness about your life? What is that one thing you most criticize yourself about? If this negative judgment about yourself feels like the truth, yet only makes you feel more stuck and powerless every time you think it, then what is the benefit of thinking it again? There are no real benefits to narrow-minded thinking other than to keep you feeling small and irresponsible for your infinite potentiality. It is the effects of the lazy saboteur running the show and your life. Be outrageous. People who achieve mastery have the ability to be outrageous. Gidebillen. These body-contracting thoughts are the leftovers of your gremlin saboteur who loves to create piles of dust. The piles of dust cause even more negativity to gather in your life and keep your head busy dreaming about the past and the future, instead of living here and now, doing exciting, inspired actions. Own your dirt. This week, instead of watching TV and sweeping more piles under the carpet. Take responsibility for your magical manifesting power and get off your butt. Start doing things from your heart that you love. Decide right now to make it a conscious breakthrough with your lazy saboteur every time it tries to avoid this awesome new response ability. How would your day be different if you took more responsibility for creating an unstoppable life that you love? The more challenging part to owning your dust is not identifying with what you see inside yourself. Breathe. Release the illusions you see. Use the breath to keep you centered, and you will transcend it completely. There is one certainty with owning your dust. You will get frustrated with yourself. When this happens, practice gentleness. You are always making more progress than you realize, clearing the dust from your mirror in a huge mountain. And if you constantly look back at the parking lot below, it will seem as if you have gone nowhere. In fact, you have risen thousands of feet above where you were. When your mirror is free from dust, you will be at the top of the mountain peak. At this peak, you can see farther, and new heightened perspectives arise much easier than ever before. The distance between where you were, where you are, is more clearly seen. A broader vision of your life is experienced in such a way that you can simply allow the mind to be negative or positive, and it doesn't matter. All thoughts simply become catalysts to push you higher into the next peak of experiencing more conscious awareness, and you welcome all in. All in. The reality is the experience, and the experiences life brings, you cannot be stopped, nor do you want to stop them. The dust will fall on your mirror forever, and that is okay. You can change your mirror angle, and the dust will fall off to the floor. You have the power to choose if you want to stay identified with your dust or not. You can always create a new response to your thoughts, which will alter the field of energy around you, thereby shifting the kinds of situations and people you tend to attract. And none of us are exempt from that. When you own the dust already on your mirror, the magical mindset has an opportunity to come alive. It is born out of the new perceptions you create about you. The instant you see yourself differently, the energy changes inside you and shifts the way you perceive others. How you see yourself and the world molds and shapes your vibration. If you believed everyone was a Buddha in disguise, you would think, feel, and behave differently around them. Your body, just imagine that. So if you believed, just think about this for a minute, if you believed everyone was a Buddha in disguise, you would think, feel, and behave differently around them, wouldn't you? Your body would naturally heighten its frequency to align with your perception of the enlightened being lying down in your bedroom. People are not disturbed by things that happen, but by their opinion of things that happen. Epictetus. Without any house cleaning, your dust particles build up and leave heavy impressions on the mind. Over the years, they form a complex conglomerate identity. This massive over-identification with our dust creates attachment to the ego, which subsequently lowers our manifesting vibration. The magical mindset shows up when we deeply understand what our ego is, and we cannot choose, or we constantly choose, to be free from it. The ego, who you think you are, believes it is in control of your life, and it is under the false impression it knows what is best for you. The ego has no clue how to remove the dust from your mirror. It believes it can clean up your attitude and energy, improving everything in one day. All that happens is a weak short-term commitment to your goal, which dies quickly and is soon followed by strong feelings of failure and overwhelm. The pile of dust that was on the right side of the mirror is now swept over to the left side, and our cleanup crew is out getting drunk at happy hour. The ego cannot help you truly heal your life or clean up anything. It tries to analyze and fix everything, thinking it can organize the chaos perceived to be in your life. It is blind to your divine infinite existence. It creates all kinds of illusions and stories about what is happening, making your life a complicated, confusing, and seemingly unending mess. Your ego tries to think its way out of the maze and find the answers alone. It believes it is separate from an omniscient and powerful infinite source. This Lone Ranger syndrome creates all the suffering and stuckness in your life, and the illusion that you have no natural manifesting ability. Every problem and inner conflict you manifest is from an over-identification with your ego trip. After many years, these once innocent and lightly scattered dust particles have turned into piles of mud and dirt. You find yourself living 7 days a week in your head, being a thinkaholic who is constantly tormented by its own criticism, judgments, and opinions. This over-identification develops a kind of schizophrenia between your mind and your body. You no longer experience life through your body-mind. You are either up in your mind or trying to get into your body. The voices become so loud in your head that the love in your heart and the emotion in your belly cannot be felt or experienced. Since your controlling ego is afraid to relax and explore your emotions below, a great wall is created between you and your feelings. Your manifesting powers cannot flow without your emotion, energy in motion, and your desires become blocked. This wall of fear inside you results in incessant neediness and a struggle to survive instead of flowing with the adventurous God who feels everything and thrives. Man has falsely identified himself with the pseudo-soul or ego. When he transfers his sense of identity to his true being, the immortal soul, he discovers that all pain is unreal. He no longer can even imagine a state of suffering. Paramahansa Yogananda. We are afraid to let go of our ego. So instead we try to maintain it. Maintaining the ego is a 24-hour job, and doing so will distract our attention from our infinite source and drain our manifesting power. It is extremely exhausting to keep a positive self-image up or a negative image down all the time. The key to handling our ego in a healthy way is to be curious, present, and conscious about each experience that arises. With this magic formula, you cannot go into avoidance or get attached to any positive or negative thoughts about yourself to the world. Really, what is there to get attached to? There are just thoughts. They're just thoughts and ideas zinging about in your head. There is not much fulfillment in them. The real pleasure is being present to the universe, who is always and only present in the here and now. Immersed in the present moment, your own divine presence will become incredibly alive, and you will pleasantly discover a spotless mirror completely free from the contracted ego trip you were on. You may also find that clearing the dust off your mirror can become an unending perfectionist project. The ego builds itself up, constructing a great, amazing sense of self, one then finds that it must tear itself down to find the real truth. The true you, however, is not anything in the building. You are more like a curious, observing bystander watching this great, massive construction go up and down, up and down, and up and down every day. Change is a scary thing for every ego. It always wants what is safe, secure, and predictable. Did you notice that life was not set up to be this way? There is a thing called death that they call on this planet. At the end of it, which ultimately shows the ego the real truth, however, the ego loves to be in control and will continue to think it is the general manager of the universe. It tries to run the show by sweeping up your dust and other people's dust, creating dramatic little scenarios where a solution must be found or else. The ego's locked and belief systems cause residual tension to hold in our bodies, blocking the flow of our manifesting vibrations. And when we realize we already have the greatest intelligence and power in the universe inside of us, there is no need for an ego. The ego has no effective way of removing this dust since it is made of dust. It can only create temporary answers to its unending problems. The only thing that can wipe our mirrors permanently clean is the heat from the infinite light we let into our hearts that bounces off our mirror into the world. When we hold our awareness on the light of our own consciousness, we soon see that everything is flawlessly perfect on purpose. We realize that the dust and the dirt is there to have fun making mud pies with. We resist nothing, play with everything, knowing our higher source can clean up the worst of messes in an instant. We feel more and think less because we understand that something is divinely guiding us in each moment to help us realize that we already are a channel for the highest source of light, energy, and vibration. We trust the dust removal process and get out of its way as much as we can. The greatest thing that you can do to eliminate attachment to your ego is choose peace right now. No matter how many dust particles are on your mirror today, inner peace is always a moment-to-moment choice. It becomes an easier choice when you have acknowledged that you are this light of pure consciousness and are allowing it to shine through. The mind mirror will always play tricks on you, creating illusions and delusions, saying this is right and that is wrong, then change its decision the very next day. It only has one main purpose, and that is to reflect this perfect divine reality for you to enjoy and realize that you are creating it all. Whether you can see this or not, it does not matter. Help is on its way. The loving universe has designed billions of other mirrors, billions, out there to reflect back what is going on inside you. Watch them very closely. Listen to what they are telling you about yourself. If you really want to break free from your ego's hypnotic illusion, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Thomas Edison. Who you really are is a permanent, timeless, eternal awareness temporarily abiding in the body-mind vehicle. Who all of us really are a permanent, timeless, eternal awareness temporarily abiding in this body-mind vehicle. We are the infinite presence of light in the form of love that shines forever like the sun. No matter how frightening, amazing, or real our mind's limiting beliefs may appear, they are still dusty strings of thoughts which cannot touch the ever-present permanent energy of presence you already are. Awareness is being aware of what is. It acts like a super high-tech vacuum cleaner that can run on automatic, continuously wiping our ego mirrors spotless. Eventually, after many hours of cleaning, your vacuum will get more powerful and able to clear away lifetimes of heavy dust and keep all future dust from gathering again. With permanent awareness, our minds will eventually reach the point of being completely spotless and magical, causing our manifesting vibrations to grow immensely. This is the exciting part. When you are continuously in tune with the positive current of energy flowing through you, you see your desires take form. The more often you practice awareness of what is, the brighter your light becomes, burning away old dust and impeding new dust from clinging. Your limited belief systems get sucked into this powerful vacuum and wiped away. Your dust did its job, which was to give you an experience of being someone. This someone was perhaps important or worthless, happy or sad, rich or poor, powerless or powerful. This someone was created so you could someday have the freeing, unlimited experience of being vast, undefined, and godlike.
The more aware you become, the easier it will be to get in touch with the quiet presence at the core of your beings. In order to fully experience awareness, you must choose to quiet the mind. A quiet mind enables you to hear messages from the universe on how to live a magical life. When you continuously practicing, when you practice being quiet inside, eventually the rock concert in your head will subside and you will break into the magical mindset. As you teach your mind to be quiet through meditation, awareness will grow and the light will begin to reflect fully off your mirror. You will start to see the world in its divine perfection, which opens the magical mindset. When miraculous things occur in your life, the skeptics will say you got lucky, or that it was a coincidence. However, in the world of manifesting, there is no such thing. You are a manifesting being, always creating everything around you. When something lucky happens, it is really just the universe letting you know that it is intimately involved with your life. Practicing awareness for only a few hours will awaken you from many years of dust, liberate you from their hypnotic trance. You will see far beyond those repetitive negative thought patterns which tell you things like, I'm not good enough, not rich enough, not thin enough, not fun enough, not smart enough, and I'm never going to get all the love I need. All those knots in your mind have become knots in your body's energy and are causing a weak leak in your manifesting vibration. With present moment awareness, those voices that negate you will seem as far away and distant as a mouse at the bottom of your Everest. The day on which we come to know the Supreme Consciousness within us, then the outside world also will appear to us like the expanse of the Supreme Consciousness. Ocean. So you can start some major vacuuming by sucking a big chunk of dirt off your mirror and raising your manifesting vibration. This is your opportunity to let go of a past issue with someone you know and try on a new version of reality. Use your awareness. Notice all your negative judgments about someone in this world that really frustrates you. Imagine they are in the room with you now. Look them in the eyes and simply experience the judgments that arise. Notice what is creating the judgment. Where is your judgment really coming from? Is it from them or you? Give yourself permission to fully experience your inner judge and simply allow it to be. What if this person's situation and your judgment is perfect as it is, teaching you something truly amazing about yourself? The truth is the world is perfect exactly as it is. It is completely flawless and divine, with all the billions of people and things happening on it. Everything is right, fair, and balanced in the world, exactly as it is. Just look at Earth from space. Do you see all the beautiful blue oceans, green plants, city lights, with the tremendous variety of people having billions of wild and amazing experiences? This picture is not just good, it is absolutely amazing. Imagining the world as perfect as it is will help the surface of your mirror be exactly as you wish it to be. This does not mean you will stop giving money to the homeless or give up recycling plastic. In fact, just the opposite is true. You will have more love and respect for the planet than ever before. You will be tuned into what this world truly consists of and more appreciative of the way it is now. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And the first thing we care to do is relax our bodies. And the best way to do that has been found to be true, is to focus on your breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth.
As you do this, you move yourself into the now. You stay. You eliminate the mind chatter. You eliminate the ego mind. You eliminate the subconscious mind. All of that goes. You're only in the moment. The body then begins to respond because you're not thinking. You're not even feeling. You're just being in the now. So you shut this off. It's not that it's gone for good. You know it's there, but you're not engaged with it. You leave the mind alone. You leave the ego alone. You become a watcher. You just watch. You don't judge. And you understand that your body that you're in is a magnificent, magnetic sponge. It will take in anything you think, any thought that you generate, any emotion. It will absorb it. And the subconscious mind will store it. So you remember, it is that the body is an emotional energy. And the body's very intelligent. The body isn't you. You're the God. So as you begin to progress and you feel your body go light, how can it not be light? All of that stuff is gone. All your worries, all your stresses, all your fears drop away. It's only when you re-engage into the ego mind that the body becomes stressful and tense. It's imperative for us to keep our bodies relaxed. And it's up to us to choose to do so. Some of us do it intermittently. Some of us do it on rare occasion. Some of us don't do it at all. But you see how preoccupied we become as a civilization. Where's our preoccupation? Leave the spirit and the God alone and concentrate on everything outside of you. What people think of you. You know, how people view you. How you feel about yourself. How you think about yourself. All the things out there that you desire through the ego mind. All the things out there that you desire from the ego mind. Isn't that interesting? And all along, lifetime after lifetime, we spend outside of ourselves. We never end up ending to discover the gods we are within the body. Lifetime ends, enter another one. That one ends, enter another one. And every single one of them, we spend most of our time outside of ourselves. So we don't ever end up discovering that we are the God in the body, not the body. And we don't ever end up discovering that the universe is our magic carpet. And whatever we think, it answers and gives us. Now, if you think bad things, negative things, angry things, it will give you more of that. If you think positive, wonderful, happy things, it will give you more of that. But the impatience is the ego. The frustration is the ego. The hurriedness is the ego. That's what happens. And what happens when that happens? We suffer. We get expectations. We get attachments. We get frustrated. We get impatient. We want. That's the ego. Now, the God is the opposite. We already have, we already know, and it is here. That's it. We already have, we already know, and it is here. We enjoy life. We play, we don't work. What are you doing today, Bill? I'm playing. What are you doing, Mary? I'm playing. The word work on this planet is going to go away. Now, that doesn't mean that when we play, we're just doing nothing. Say, we're just accomplishing, and, there it is, the ego accomplishing, getting things done. But we go and we play and we go with the flow and we have downstream thinking and we are in bliss. That's it. We're in bliss. The next step from bliss is samadhi. Or, before samadhi is kundalini. Then these are levels of beingness.
with the God. So you say bliss, kundalini, samadhi, nirvana, being the highest. These are the things that we can explore. Why would we ever continue to explore everything outside of us? We already know. So our curiosity moves us to go within and stay in the now and focus on our breath and continue to keep the body relaxed. And one of the most important things is for us is to maintain effortlessly, eventually, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with ourselves. The highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude. No matter what's going on outside, out there. Because we are all loved and cared for deeply, 24/7, without fail, ever. Ever. No exceptions. The only game that plays us constantly is the ego. That plays us, directs us, believes it's master over us. You begin to realize that that's an ego thought. I'm not interested in that. And it'll go right through you and vanish. It's only when we grab it and pull it in. Now, if you picture yourself standing on 3 pads, right? Paths. You're standing in front of 3 paths, one on the left, which is the past, one on the right, which is the future, one in the center, which is the now. Now, you'll notice these paths are really much the same. You'll see the trees that form canopies over each path. The trees are shimmering gold, the leaves, the bark, the branches. And then the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Now, the only difference that you notice is you look to the left and you see the past, and you say, wow, that has really been used. And then you look to the right to see the future, and you say the same thing. Those 2 paths have really been used. The reason that is because the ego keeps us out of the now. It doesn't want us to go into now. It will do everything, fight us tooth and nail to not go into the now, because it knows that if it does go into the now, it is no longer needed. But we have memories, right? And we have times where we reminisce. It's fun. It's fun part of this life. One of the fun things. There's many. And so we have a private library. Each of us do. It's called the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind copies everything. Not only copies everything from your baby body onward, but everything around it. Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent. It's there. Other people's thoughts, other people's experiences, it's all there. Past lives, future lives, it's all there. So we, on occasion, we go into that library, open the door, turn on the lights, close the door, grab a couple of movies and some books and pictures, sit in an easy chair, and watch, experience. And we re-experience old experiences that we had done in the now. And we have fun with that. And we reminisce, that was so fun, remember this, remember that. And then we also will look at some not too wonderful ones and say, that I learned not to do again. But you know what we do, most of us? We put everything away. We turn the lights off and shut the door. And we move forward. We're always moving forward. Some of us, though, will go there and stay there. Now, I don't believe it's conscious. I believe it's unconscious. So they'll stay there so long that they end up taking that past, bring it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, we all go into the future that doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. But we go out there and we are always asking ourselves, because we're so curious, we want answers. See, we want answers. And there isn't anything wrong with that. And so the ego is there trying to control us. And we want to know why we don't have more money. And we want to know why we feel certain ways. You know, and people will say, why am I so angry? I don't understand that. You know, when am I going to be happy? When am I going to have the love of my life? When am I going to have a better job? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? And we seek external authority to give us those answers. Then what happens? External authority tells you about these things. Some are good and some aren't. And then, of course, you have expectations, right? And you do attach yourself to these outcomes that have been shared with you from external authority. And so when they don't happen, or they don't happen correctly, or they don't happen when you want them to happen, you suffer. You suffer. That doesn't sound like fun, does it? So the now is it. The now is all we have, and it is plenty. Now, when we have thoughts, each of us generate over 60,000 plus thoughts a day. We do, each of us. Then we have tens of millions of thoughts floating by like clouds in the sky in front of us. Now, interesting thing about those thoughts, they're programs, and they aren't our thoughts. And this is when my name's attached to it. That's my thought. So we take that thought, we move it into form, create it into reality, and then we give it power, and then we experience. And a lot of the times we'll take those thoughts and we go, this doesn't feel right. That's why, because it wasn't your thought. Remember, thoughts that we have go out to the universe. Not necessarily do we know that they're going out there, consciously and unconsciously, subconsciously, but they're our thoughts. Thoughts that come in are not our thoughts. They don't come in. We generate them out. So the now brings us inside, and we begin the journey to meet the God inside that we are. And when those thoughts come by, not a biggie. They pull you out of the now. You say, okay, I understand this. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, which is every single time. Now you look at this body that you're in. You know you're not the body. You're the God. And so when you recognize that, you look at the body and you see these seven lights. And they're called chakras on this planet, and chakra means wheel, so wheels of light. What are they? They're spirit, etheric energy. We, the gods, are spirit, etheric energy. And we travel through the body. We know these bodies inside and out, head to toe, right down to the quantum core. And eventually, as we continue our journey within, we will begin to discover every operation, every motion in this body. And if anything goes astray, we can fix it at the blink of the eye. We can heal it. Now, we know that we enter these bodies, the baby body, we power it up, and in a way, we sustain the body, and the body sustains the gods that we are. Quite interesting. We are the God and the heaven, and heaven isn't a place, you're the heaven, and the body is the earth. And every step we take, consciously aware, what does consciously aware mean? Consciously aware means is that we know that we're of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. We are of and from it. We know it. And we are the God, and we know that through the heart-mind. So we are creating paradise on this planet. We are creating a God planet paradise for all of us. And as each one of us awaken, that is a brighter light than those that are asleep. Because those that are asleep have the mud on their light. So it appears dim, but it isn't. It's just as bright as the light that we are. And we do have the opportunity every lifetime, maybe for you it's this lifetime, that you will discover that you are the light. You are the love. And that when you decide to leave the body, you will not follow the light. That is the trap in this matrix. One of many, but that's one of the traps in the matrices. We don't follow light. We are light. Now, all the light energy beings, we know that parts of us are asleep. We know that parts of us are awake. The ones that are asleep, we love them as much as the ones that are awake, but they won't participate until they decide to awaken. We interact mostly on an ongoing basis with the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. Now, this is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. This is all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. This is all the off-worlders, celestials, galactics, all light energy beings. Now, light energy beings on this planet, different light spectrums. Because the eyes we have with these bodies, we don't see those light spectrums. We don't see the light energy beings in those light spectrums, like the red, the infrared, the violet, the ultraviolet, the blue, the ultra blue. We don't see them. But they're there. They come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, and configurations. But we are familiar with a small group, and part of this small group, these bodies we are in, are intimately dependent on this small group. Fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, air, earth, water, fire, ether, wood. Mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now ask yourself, in that body you're in, can this body sustain the God that I am without air, without water, without fire, without earth, without ether, without wood? The answer to that is a big no. You see how dependent these bodies are on the elementals? Huge. Huge. Why do you think most of us love the water? Because we are water. Isn't that interesting? Why do you think we love fire? To heat us, to warm us. Because we are fire. You ever heard of instantaneous combustion because of the chemical imbalance in our bodies? Well, if there were no earth, we would have nothing to stand on, nothing to grow from. Very, very connected. Now, the Ascended Masters, they're actually a civilization. We are all civilization. And they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form, and they hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering the physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, they're another civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do, so we don't see them like we see each other. We meet them, we interact with them, we do a lot of things with them. It just doesn't mean that we know it a lot of the time. Other times we do. You could be just about your business during the course of the day and just enter in a conversation with a complete stranger who initiates it, usually. And then when that happens, it doesn't dawn on us until after the conversation or the interaction, hey, that, you know something, that was an angel. And then we experience bliss. Now, they have a message. They've delivered this message in all different kinds of ways for eons. And the message, put simply, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? To taste, to touch, to make love, to hold hands, to kiss, to smile, to laugh, to eat, to drink, to cry, to run, to breathe. You know what? The gods that we are don't do any of that. We don't see through eyes, see? You see, one of the reasons, main reasons we were created is to enter physical form, to experience physical form. And to discover over and over again who and what we are through the heart mind. That's why these bodies are so intoxicating for us, so attractive to us, because we get to experience all the physicality. Just to be in a tree, just to inhabit a physical form of a tree. Can you imagine taking in everything around you? Every wind, every rain, every snow, every heat, every cold, every bug, every animal that crosses your path. You know how fascinating that is. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time. In the tens of thousands or tens of millions, because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And ask them if you want. In the blink of the eye, they'll be surrounding you. And you will be experiencing bliss. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. And this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're in the numbers of Gugaplexes, the gods that we are. And Gugaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes in trillions of directions. Now, we do know that the parts of all of us are asleep and other parts are awake. So we're talking about the awake. And we're all focused on this planet and its complete liberation. Or its liberation into and of love. Now we're all gathered and in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now, we immediately form this massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white light fire emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of us. The love, the highest frequency. And it's flooding and permeating this planet, head to toe, inside and out. No escape. Nothing can escape. Now, we begin to ascend as this white fire circle of light. And we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. To describe this glitter on this planet, it's the only way we come close to it is just that you take a grand finale firework display, which nothing on this planet has come close to, and then a laser light show display, grand finale, and then the ballroom globe, which we're familiar with, that we see in the ballrooms, and it slowly turns around, reflects all the light. Except this one is a trillion times larger, a trillion times more intense. You combine all those, and you come as close as you're going to get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we go to the reflective points. We notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors perfectly etched. So we enter them. And then we're fascinated because we begin to discover as our journey within continues that all of us are teaching and learning and teaching. We always are. And it doesn't have to be humanoid. It could be a tree, a bush, bird, dog, cat, a leaf. It's endless. Now, we're told that the tree is life. No. It's the God that enters the tree that gives the tree life so that the God can experience the physicality and the physical life of the tree. The same with everything. When this civilization comes full circle and begins to understand that all of these bodies house divine perfection, so we stop judging the body and start loving the God within each and every one of us. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created for ourselves to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected with a white fire armor. This is not like the armor on this planet. It is way beyond that. Now, this armor emanates from love. The love that we are, the love that we're made of, the highest frequency. It can't be penetrated, violated, seduced, reduced, weakened, No lower dark matter, survival matter frequency, no demon possession, no attachment, nothing ever will harm us at this high vibrational frequency. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide consciously or unconsciously to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, anger, greed, fear, envy, hurry, revenge, jealousy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of this double column of light is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the other part of the column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are, within these bodies to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains. We are the skies, the clouds. We are the earth, the trees, the forest, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time, and your choice to do this through the heart-mind, but the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise, a rainbow, a starry lit night sky, ocean view, mountain view, now regularly we go, isn't that beautiful? But from the heart-mind, next time, that is the God that I am. That is the God that I am. That is the God that I am. And the whole perspective and understanding for each of us changes in an instant. Now we continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above them. And the reason that we do this because it is really fun if we're carrying physical form, and that we can. We come in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. Now, we created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we have this oblong sphere. The center of the sphere is this massive golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored light that seem to go through infinity and beyond. Now that's created this super white, bright, misty cloud, and it's sparkling, and you can see electrical currents in it sparking, and it's absorbed through our heart mind, and it's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous, stupendous, phenomenal prosperity, tremendous, stupendous, phenomenal abundance. And we discover that all of this is but a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing now, infinity and beyond. This, again, is the highest of the highest high, deep, pure, eternal love. And it's flooding this planet, inside and out, head to toe, infinity and beyond. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Drops of the golden ocean is drops, and the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere, it's at center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, every day, 7 days a week, for over 4 years, sometimes more than once a day. All of that focused on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. Total liberation, total mitigation of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequency. A God-planet paradise. See it through your heart minds. Visit it as often as you would like. Because it is you. And yes, you are awake. Each moment there is an awake energy, here, aware, now. Know that this cannot change. Rest deeply in this knowingness. It will create a transformation in all of our being. It is exactly what we will need today for transcending. Our very next unconscious momentary lapse of mental jargon. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly, or not at all. This moment, this very moment, contains everything. Surrender to it. And guess what? You'll actually get the whole universe with it. There is an extraordinary depth to any seemingly ordinary life. Take this with you for the rest of the day, evening, night, and morning. We will return here tonight with special guests at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Reverse Aging Health Call. And tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, to continue our global guided meditation